is a matter of Master Warrant Officer who also had a husband that was an Air Force officer but died, not in service, left with his son. According to the petitioner, she had challenges in trying to raise the child herself and her duties because she was posted from Ibadan to Maiduguri and her son was already in school in Ibadan. And so she had difficulty moving from one place to another. And as a result, she was termed AWOL, that's away without leave from her duties. Persistence of that, she was now declared a deserter. She appeared before us, and we also invited the Nigerian Air Force to appear, which they did. Having listened to both parties, it became very clear, Mr. President, distinguished colleagues, that the petitioner, who also petitioned that the husband's insurance, life insurance, was not paid or is not being paid by the Nigerian Air Force, and that the son was entitled to scholarship because of the death of her officer husband. But according to the evidence we received, it became obvious to us that his son was not entitled to such a scholarship because the husband did not die on duty. We also recognize that indeed she was AWOL on few times because of the reasons that she gave to the committee. However, given the circumstances, special circumstance of her case, and the son that she's saddled with, the committee recommends as follows: that the Senate do urge the Nigerian Air Force to follow up and ensure the payment of the insurance claim of his deceased personnel warrant officer Honourably Taiwo Daramola, husband of the petitioner, to his family to ameliorate the hardship being faced by the family. 2, that the Senate do urge the Nigerian Air Force to compassionately, we ask this on the ground of compassion, Mr. President, distinguished colleagues, to capture the only son of the late personnel, Warrant Officer Honourably Taiwo Daramola, for payment of his school fees, considering the fact that the child's late father insurance claim has not been paid since his death in 2016. 3, that the Senate do urge the Nigerian Air Force to retire the petitioner Master Warrant Officer Ishola retired Ajoke honorably from its service, considering her emotional situation and the number of years she has put in service of the Air Force, which is a total of 24 years. So, Mr. President, distinguished colleagues, this is our recommendation.
And to also provide some little context, because the petitioner is a constituent from my senatorial district. Here is a couple who decided to serve the nation, and the 2 of them joined the Nigerian Air Force. 9 years ago, the husband died, leaving behind a child, a product of the marriage. Because of the tradition in the military, the widow, who was also still in service, was posted across different places. The son was in Ibadan. She was posted to Maiduguri, from Maiduguri to some other places. Under the trauma of the emotion of losing the husband, or also want to take care of the child, she couldn't honor the posting a couple of times, and she was declared a deserter. Worse still, the pension of the late husband, who died 9 years ago, has not been paid. The Air Force is also not paying for the school fees of the child. And yet the woman has been declared on her wall as a deserter. Double jeopardy. While we recognize the need for the military to enforce discipline, and we must salute the military because that's the profession she signed up for. But in this circumstance, we are pleading that the military should temper justice with mercy, considering the fact that the two of them, both the husband and the wife, elected to serve in the military, and the husband has died 9 years ago. His entitlement have not been paid. In the course of taking care of the child, the wife was also declared a deserter. While recognizing the military discipline and the regulations, I plead on behalf of this woman, as has been recommended here, for 3 things. Number 1, for the military to please hasten the process of paying the entitlement and the pension of the deceased husband 9 years after. All of us will know that what that pension could have been 9 years ago and what the value will be now. Secondly, to also plead with military, whatever the rules, to ensure that the only product of this marriage, they pay the school fees. And finally, the woman may not even be able to work in the military again. But rather than declare her a deserter, we are pleading that they should retire honorably so that she could now take care of the child and also have a fond memory of the husband and the country she had decided to serve.
And the modus operandi, and quite unfortunate, we sympathize with the family for the loss of the husband, and we sympathize with the child. But as for the mother, it's not enough excuse to say that she was declared a will absent without lawful authority, and because she was taking care of a child. You know, when you sign up with the rules. So we will not concern ourselves so much with that. Rather, we'll look at the aspect of compassion and plea. Thank you. Distinguished colleagues, additional prayer has been moved and seconded that the Senate Committee on Legislative Compliance be charged with the additional responsibility of following up on the resolutions of the Senate today. Those in support of this say aye. Aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Thank you for distinguished Senator Nengi. I think it's very important that we don't just leave it open-ended. We would like something to come back to the Senate. We would like to have a report that, yes, indeed, the Senate resolutions were complied with. At least the 2 main resolutions, which, of course, we moved the 2 on compassionate grounds, and the other one is the right of the deceased to receive his insurance claims. And we are urging the Air Force to ensure that that is done, and then on compassionate grounds to see to the school fees of the lone child that was left behind by the deceased that served meritoriously for over 24 years in the Nigerian Air Force. So I thank all of us for looking into this, and I particularly thank the Committee on Code of Conduct, Public Petitions, and for doing a good job.